This episode of On Second Watch is sponsored by Podcorn. I'm very excited that they are our first sponsor because that is exactly what their platform is all about. Podcorn is the easiest way for podcasters to connect directly with brands to discuss sponsorship opportunities, such as pre, mid, or post rolls, topical discussions, interviews, contests, or reviews. I was able to search through a ton of brands, find the ones that would be a good fit for our podcast, and engage with them directly with no middleman. If you're ready to start monetizing your podcast, make your life easy and join podcorn.com. Make sure to see our show notes for more details.
In a world of big-budget blockbusters, travel back in time to explore the epic.
There's nothing else like it, and I don't think there ever will be.
And not so epic.
It's really bizarre to me that it was nominated for 8 awards, won 4 of them, nominated for Best Picture, and he's not nominated for Best Director? How is that possible?
Movies of yesteryear. Join Tim.
No. No. Push nothing.
Chris.
I have a lot of regrets right now.
Dana.
Commit.
I hate committing, you know this.
That's why we're married.
Plant the flag, woman.
And Spaz.
I implanted it in your mind.
You will not implant anything.
On their adventures through Nostalgia Land. This is On Second Watch, a movie nostalgia podcast.
Why did you bring this up?
We're gonna go back
Was it
to
worth the
Inception
joke?
now?
Do you feel better?
No, I don't. Like,
You are welcome on Second Watchers.
Welcome to another movie nostalgia review with On Second Watch. So we'll give you a rundown on how this works. So first, we're going to explore our own nostalgia for the film. We'll talk about our favorite moments and experiences seeing it for the first time, try to remember some various details, and then we'll finish up with each of us giving a nostalgia review of the movie. Then we're going to shut off the microphones and we're going to rewatch it together. And as soon as those credits roll, we're going to turn the microphone back on and reflect on what our experience was today. What we may have noticed or missed before, and explore some fun movie trivia along the way. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up by giving our rewatch rating. Say that 3 times fast. And compare our own scores to see if the movie got better or worse with time. So today's episode, we're going to re-explore, all right, ready for this one? 2010's contemporary psychological science fiction heist action thriller, written and directed by Christopher Nolan, Inception. Do I need to say that again?
Yes.
Yeah.
no.
Say it faster.
Here we go. 2010's contemporary psychological science fiction heist action thriller written and directed by Christopher Nolan.
Boom.
There you go. Did you say Inception this time?
Inception. Yes.
Oh, say it again.
Nope. That's it. That's enough for me. I got to pronounce some French words later. I don't want to even do it. So, Inception. This is a favorite in this household. So, we're going to have some fun with this one. This is a movie, ladies and gentlemen, that Dana has seen before.
Multiple times. Not just
Finally.
once.
1 out of 3.
I finally saw a movie.
All right. It's, yeah, so we'll have some things for you to talk about.
Sounds good.
Let's start by going around the table, introduce everybody, and just mention how long it's been since you've seen this movie.
All right, my name is Spaz, and I haven't seen this movie since 2010.
So when it came out.
Yes, I didn't even see it in theaters. It was like, well, shoot, maybe it was 2011 then. I can't even remember when I saw this movie, to be honest with you.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
I'm Dana. I believe we probably saw this movie in the last 2 years-ish, but I have seen it at least 10 to 12 times, so I'm pretty well versed in the movie.
I'm Chris, and I'm trying to remember the last time I saw this. I know I saw it in the theaters. It's got to be at least 6-7 years since I saw it again, so it's been quite a while.
All right, and I am Tim. So
Hi, Tim.
Hello. Hi, I'm Spaz. Hello. You think we saw it 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
I thought it was before.
Maybe
3
it's
months
longer.
ago.
I thought it was before the kids were born, but
Maybe?
it's been a while.
Yes.
Which is sad, but it's definitely one of our favorites. So without spoiling where we're gonna rate it, but yeah, it's definitely
I'm pretty sure I know where it is.
We'll see. We'll see. So let's give a little bit of background on this. So this movie came out in 2010. Like I said, it's 2010's contemporary psychological science fiction heist action thriller written and directed by Christopher Nolan.
Inception!
Christopher Nolan wrote, directed, and produced it. This was a passion project of his. The budget that he received was $160 million, and it grossed about $830 million in the box office.
Ooh, wow.
A lot of money. Did really well.
I'd say so.
Especially for an original story. I think one cool thing was that this movie actually finished under budget and before the deadline, which is unheard of. I'm pretty sure every big major movie that I can think of has always gone over budget. Everything's destroyed.
Yeah, usually.
And so Christopher Nolan came up with this idea around the year 2000.
After we did Memento.
That's right. He presented it to Warner Brothers right after Memento. But then after talking about it a little bit, he wanted to get some more experience and learn about the filmmaking process before he really explored this and gave it everything he could. Since it's been so long for you guys since you've seen it, why don't we start with Dan, Mr. Spaz. What do you remember? What do you remember your feelings seeing this for the first time? Do you even remember what it's about?
I know it's about them going into Cillian Murphy's dream or mind or whatever. And I can't remember why they have to do it, to be honest with you. I really don't remember too much from this movie. It's been just way too long. What I do remember is how, after I did see it, I was like, I need to watch that movie again because, wow, it was awesome. And two, I was confused as heck.
So you finished the movie and thought, man, I got to see that again.
And I never watched
and you
it
waited
again.
10 years.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Fair.
Because I don't know why I never got around to watching it again. Just
shame.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I think it was on, but I was too drunk and passed out, and yeah, so never really watched it or paid too much attention to it. So
terrible.
Go figure. Me getting drunk. What?
I am shocked, and that is beneath you, sir.
I know. God, I should have had another beer at Eternity. God, I love drinking. What? Oh my God, I could do this every time. Sorry.
Start going off. All right. So Chris, how about you? It's been you said 6 years or no?
Something like that. Yeah.
So do you remember the plot or?
Nope. I mean, this is bad. I usually have some semblance of an idea from the movies I watch, but no. I mean, I'm gonna take a stab at this, and I think I'm gonna be really wrong. There's a group of them, if I recall. I mean, you have the group of them in there, and I want to say it's like their specialty. They steal memories, dreams, information from those that want it by invading like their memories, dreams, or something like that for others for large sums of money or something like that. I don't know. It's something to do with that. And then there's kicking of a chair. I remember that.
There's zero gravity at some point.
Yeah,
bands and stuff.
But as far as like the full-on story specifically for this movie, no, I don't. I know it involves. I want to say nope. Don't recall. I'm going to blank on this one hard.
Do you want me to do the plot rundown before we get into your feelings about it?
Please.
Or do you want to do the plot rundown?
I mean, the basics of it is pretty much that these people are going in and they're implanting an idea into somebody's head in order to change the course of how this person lives their life. Basically, I mean, that's in a very simple term. That's what they're doing. But you see all the levels of what they have to go to in order to implant such a significant idea to change everything. So, I mean, that's probably the easiest way to put it without spoiling the movie at this point.
Really, what they are, they're thieves. Okay, so they're...
I was close.
So yeah, they, thieves by...
Brain thieves.
Yes. What they would do is they'd go into somebody's dream and get them to talk about something or reveal something, which allows them to gain access to it, whether it's bank account information or something. They would basically steal something out of their dreams without them knowing it. And they're basically thieves for hire. But what really makes this unique is that they were hired by someone to implant an idea, which, when the concept around this movie is impossible. But our main protagonist, Cobb, who's played by Leonardo DiCaprio, thinks it can be done because he's done it before. So the whole idea is, what do they have to do to implant an idea? Because it's not as simple as telling someone to do something. You have to get really deep inside their core of their thoughts. And that's kind of what Inception's all about, is going above and beyond what they thought was possible to change the way someone thinks, like you said.
Yes, and they had to use the idea they had to break it down to be so simple that they could let it just keep expanding for this person to change everything.
Yeah.
It was a little more complicated than that.
Yeah. What do you remember coming out of this movie?
If I remember correctly, we went and saw it the first day it was in theaters, and we were so blown away by the movie that we went back the next day and saw it again. It was just mind-boggling. It had me thinking in ways about things I've never even thought about before, and then I felt like the first time you don't really even get the full premise of the movie. The second time we saw all these things we had no idea even existed the first time around. It was just, I don't know, it really made me think on a level I don't normally do.
I think that sounds very similar to your process, Spaz, when you went and saw Showgirls.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You went back, it just blew your mind.
I mean, that was 95, so I was 11 years old, so yeah.
Close enough.
I was kind of confused.
We interrupt this movie review due to inappropriate comments made by Spaz again. And now, back to the show.
Oh, my God.
What was
Why
that?
did you bring this up?
We're gonna go back
Was it
to
worth the
Inception
joke?
now?
Do you feel better?
No, I don't. Like,
You are welcome on the Second Watchers.
Oh, no.
Boom. Mic drop.
I do not want this in my dream.
Oh, but it's already there.
No, I'm gonna...
I implanted it in your mind.
You will not implant anything in
Dude,
this
I'm going to
house.
Inception your ass.
We're gonna go back to this movie.
yeah.
Okay.
I can go on about Showgirls.
We're not.
I have a lot of regrets right now.
So yeah, Dana, you were right. We saw this the day it came out in theaters because we were very intrigued by what it was. It was hard to put your finger on it. And then after we watched it, we were still unsure with what it was that we just experienced. So yeah, before we left the theater, we bought tickets for the next day.
Yes, we did.
We saw it at least twice in the theater. The day it came out in Blu-ray, we bought it. It was just constantly being watched for us. So it was great. Every time you watch it, it picks up something new. Mm-hmm. And then the end, we'll talk about that later. But it was just like what really happened. You know, what's all coming together. So it's a fantastic film. Loved everything about it. And the music, gotta say that I love the music, but I'm not going to go down a history lesson rabbit hole on this one about the music.
You don't have to go down a history lesson, but I will say this is probably one of 2 movie soundtracks I ever actually bought. The other being Lion King.
I've had Lion
But I was
had Lion
also
King.
how old at that point?
Yeah, and yeah, Elton John's all amazing too, so there you go. But I had that one and Nightmare Before Christmas. Those were my 2 soundtracks.
She also awesome.
Yes, I think we have multiple copies of the soundtrack of Inception.
We do. And I also have it all saved to my Spotify account.
Yes.
You're welcome, Spotify.
Loser. Love you, Dana.
I love you too.
Damn right.
All right, let's stop that now.
Still time.
No, we're gonna stop that now.
Booyah.
So one thing we do in every episode is
Touch me.
What do you mean?
don't touch my wife.
She likes it.
I'm an adult.
So one thing we do in every episode is oh God.
What? Sorry. Remember, I did have some beers before this.
We're gonna put you in the corner.
Ooh, my favorite place.
Not again. So one thing we do in every episode is episode shout out. So in our next recording, if you want to have a personal shout out for yourself, a friend, shout out your dog, your own
Oliver.
podcast or brand, whatever you want to do, head to oswpodcast.com to get your shout out. Next, we have some listener nostalgia I wanted to share. We have a couple of people that submitted their own nostalgia for this movie, and I was going to play a couple of them. While I'm getting that queued up, I can read some that were shared to me on Facebook and on Twitter. CJ from the podcast Talking Shiz said the visual effects were amazing. The fact that it keeps you guessing if they were still dreaming or awake. The scene where the city starts folding in on itself is amazing.
Agreed.
If you think about, Doctor Strange took some Inception rules during their fight scenes. So I saw a lot of that in Doctor Strange, actually. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Then Eddie on Facebook said, I remember my first reaction to watching Inception was, I have to see it again. Very similar to what a lot of us said.
Yes.
Which is typical of Nolan movies. And I did. I went back and watched it 9 times in theaters. Go Eddie.
Wow.
You are awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
When I really like a movie, I go back and rewatch it. Inception holds the most theater views for me. Needless to say, it is my favorite movie of all time. No pun intended. There you go. Heyo. All right. On my first trip overseas, I went and visited, okay, bear with me, Pont de Bir Hakim.
Excuse me?
Probably butchered that, which is the bridge in Paris where Ariadne closed the mirror doors. So we'll see that in the movie. But then I got a comment from Ritesh on Facebook. He said, I am from India, and Hollywood films were pretty new to me at the time when I happened to watch this masterpiece. My first reaction was obvious, what the hell was this? And let me see that again.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think one of the best comments I had was from Vidhaya. Sorry if I mispronounce your name, but they said, I was gobsmacked. Loved the concept. It was so amazing, so imaginative, and kept me awake for days. From the podcast Movies on My Mind, Mike had this to say.
Hey, on Second Watch, this is Mike from the Movies on My Mind podcast and Inception. What can be said about this movie that hasn't already been said? I'm sure I'm not going to say anything new, but for this movie to come out 2 years after The Dark Knight, it showed that Christopher Nolan wasn't holding back any punches. I mean, he's already been a masterclass storyteller, and this just proved it further on that he knows what he's doing. I mean, you got Memento, Insomnia, The Prestige. As far as this original idea movies that he's created, he knocks it out of the park with Inception. What I really love about Inception, though, is that, we all have dreams where we feel like we're fully in control. We feel like we can make whatever we want to happen in a dream happen. We have those moments. And in this movie, he takes that approach and he flips it on its head. He makes it a commodity, a business, in this movie. I think that's awesome. The action is great. It feels like a superhero film without being a superhero film. And so you're always well invested into it. The hallway battle scene with Joseph Gordon-Levitt is still so fun. Like I'll rewind that as often as I can whenever I'm watching the film. So this movie is great. It's one of those movies too where you don't want a sequel. I never want a sequel. They could easily make either a sequel or a TV show off of this easily. I hope they never do that. And I don't think they ever will. And I'm happy for it. So here's to more original films being made in Hollywood because I'm getting tired of the sequel fare.
Oh, I agree wholeheartely with that.
Me
sentiment.
too.
Yeah, I pray they never make a sequel. It stands alone on where it is, and it's perfect. Don't touch it.
I agree 100%.
You know what's going to happen, though.
Nah, I hope not.
Christopher Nolan's not going to have anything to do with it. Someone else is going to be like, oh, I could turn this into something new.
I feel like that's the only way it would happen is if somebody else had something to do with it.
Because Christopher Nolan, he's not going to touch.
No, he would not touch a masterpiece like that.
And the last one here is from Carrie, and I'll play her reactions to this movie too.
My reaction to the movie Inception would have been mind blown. It was super creative, and I love movies that really make you think, and this was definitely one that made you think every second of the movie. My favorite scene for this movie would have been the fight scene in the hallway at the hotel when they were floating around. I thought that was really cool and interesting. And then I give this movie 10 out of 10 stars. It's still to this day one of my favorite movies to watch. I could probably just watch it and rewatch it and still learn new things about it.
I very much agree. I could rewatch it over and over again and just find something new every time.
It's so much fun. A lot of fun, a lot of great action, a lot of good storytelling, visuals. Definitely, we watch it all the time. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter for your chance to leave your own nostalgia review. We'll definitely play back or read some of your comments. Keep an eye out on Facebook and Twitter for information about the next movie review that we do. Now the fun part. We're going to play the over-under game again.
Oh, no. I'm so bad at this.
Chris is 2 for 2, and we gotta knock him out.
And you probably will.
Yeah, I think Dana and you got this on lock, dude.
No, not
Maybe
necessarily.
not. It's been a long time since I've seen this.
I can't do these since I'm the one looking at
Oh, yeah,
all the
that's
stuff.
right.
I gotta take myself out, and I didn't give Dana any preamble on what it might be.
No, you didn't.
So we're just gonna jump into it, and hopefully someone can knock Chris off his podium. All right.
Good luck.
I like my last place. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Bad Boys, and Dana did better than you.
Just let him. Yep.
Again, it was 20 years ago, dude.
That's just how we roll. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm not good at tests. Tests and me do not mesh.
True and false questions. I mean, all right.
I copied.
So the first question is going to go to Chris. The first over-under question is, how many times do we physically see a train? And this is over-under 3.5.
What was it, 3.5?
3.5.
A train?
I mean, I guess if you don't really remember the movie,
it's been
you don't
like
know
7,
how
8 years.
significant a movie or the train is. But
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me try to rack my head around this.
That's a really hard question.
I'm going to go with, you said 3.5?
3.5.
I'm going to go under.
Spaz, how about you?
Neither.
Over.
Dana?
I honestly can't remember, so I'm going to go with under, but I know that they talked about the train so much in the movie.
They do.
But I'm going to go with under.
All right. The next question, Michael Caine is in this movie, and he received top billing, which basically means on the poster it lists him as one of the stars. But how much screen time does Michael Caine actually get in this movie? Is it over or under 5 minutes?
I hate you, Tim.
You can go first.
I feel like it's under.
I'm going to go...
I feel like it's under.
Under 5 minutes?
Oh, 5 minutes is really low. I don't know.
Watch probably like 10
I'm going to go with
seconds.
under. It's really close, if not.
Of course it's close because I picked the question. I know the answer.
I'm going to go under as well.
These are very specific this time.
Yes. I'm going to go under 2.
Boring. Okay, fine.
I'm going to laugh
Because I
at my
know
mom
you, and I
next
know
time.
the question. It's going to be, he's going to have a runtime or a screen time of like 4 minutes and like 37 seconds.
4 minutes
like
and 59 seconds.
5 minutes and 7.6 seconds. No.
I'm going to laugh when I fail this miserably, even though I've seen the movie
Can
so
we
many
push?
times.
If we wanted to, could we push it?
Push it. No.
No.
Push nothing.
Okay.
All right. So the next question, number 3, there is a famous French song that is in this. Very famous. I'm going to try to pronounce what this song is called, and I'm going to butcher it. The song is by Edith Piaf, and it's called Non Je ne regrette rien. Oh boy. Yep, killed that one. It's basically the kick song. So it's a song that is played in the movie to let our protagonists know that they're about to get kicked in the dream, so, they have to prepare. So how many times do we hear it, the kick song, in this movie?
There are so many times.
Are there? Because I have 2.5. I'm not talking about Hans Zimmer's recreation of the song. I mean the actual song.
Who's going to know that here?
I would know that.
Nerd.
Over.
Dana says over.
It's
I'm
coming
probably
back.
wrong, but
I'm slowly remembering this.
I'm going to go under.
I have no idea how many times the original song was.
I'm keeping the trend of going under because you're talking about the actual song.
The actual song.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The final question, which has nothing to do with the movie, but how many times do you see somebody smoking in this movie? Because I need a tiebreaker question. So how many times do we see somebody smoking in this movie? I have over under 2.5.
I have no idea.
Is it 0, 1, 2?
Under.
Or Dan's going under.
Over.
Let's go under.
Under.
I don't know. I feel like I failed this miserably.
No, we'll see. I had a hard time coming up with these questions because
I want to say one of the characters is a smoker, so it's over. That's me, though. But it's been several years.
Right.
You don't get to take it back. No take backs. You've committed to your under.
Final answers?
Yes, no take backs.
Okay.
I feel like I
Nah,
failed
screw it.
miserably already.
I'm going to be in last place, whatever. That's just my...
No, it might actually
That's my
be
place in life. Last place.
All right. So the next part before we shut this off and go watch the movie is our nostalgia review scores. Now, a little bit different than our last ones. We used to do it out of 5. I had to change this, so now we're doing it out of 10. I have changed all our previous scores accordingly
But why?
because I like round numbers.
Oh my god. I don't. Maybe I like odd numbers.
Be odd. Be my guest.
I thought you liked prime numbers specifically.
I do like prime numbers, but we are not scoring this on a prime numbers.
Optimus Prime.
We're scoring this on the Fibonacci scale. No. So out of 10, I want to start with Dana. I'm really curious.
I am going... Can I give a point?
You can give a point.
Okay. I'm going to go with a 9.8. And the only reason is because no movie can be perfect.
Except that didn't we all
that's
say
a
Jaws
lie.
was pretty much perfect in their last one?
Not me.
No, it was
No, you did, though.
a near masterpiece. 9.8, really?
Okay, fine. I'll just give it a 10.
There you go. You love the movie. Give it a 10.
I love the movie.
Commit.
I hate committing. You know this.
That's why we're married.
Plant your flag, woman.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Spaz, out of 10.
Give it a 7.
7. It's pretty high.
Yeah, for not remembering too much of it.
Remember the title? 7.
No, I would just remember it being really good. I just don't. 7 is a good number.
They're dreams. I'm a fan of sleep.
I don't get that much sleep. Sleep does not come easy to me.
All right, Chris, how about you out of 10?
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, like, I'm looking forward to rewatching this because I don't remember it that well, which is rare. I want to say I'll give it a 7.5. I remember enjoying it a lot.
7.5.
Like, it was a good movie. I just, for whatever reason, never got around to watching it again out of the two times I've seen it.
You had too many other horror movies to watch instead.
I love
There's so much horror movies. It's awesome.
It's okay. It's okay to admit that that's what the real reason was.
I mean, no, it's a good movie. I mean, I remember wanting to rewatch it because it was confusing.
Very much.
I don't think during that, 2010 it came out, there wasn't really a ton of good horror movies that I recall. I'm sure someone else is going to post something maybe that I'm forgetting, but...
All right, I'm going to
Halloween.
full stop commit 10 out of 10. This movie has everything. Everything that I'd ever want in a movie. The way it makes you feel. I can listen to the soundtrack now and still get chills. The visuals, the acting, everything. It's a perfect movie to me. 10 out of 10. One of the best movies I've ever seen, I've ever experienced. It's still that way. So I don't expect that number to change when I rewatch it, but
It probably won't change. I don't think it will change at all. I think for Chris and Dan, I really do feel like it may change.
Mine probably will. Like I said, I'm going off memories here, and like some of the questions are helping me trigger some of the things I remember and stuff. But like, honestly, like I'm looking forward to it because this is one of the first movies in a long time where I don't remember it at all.
So I think we're going to be split. You and I are going to stay exactly the same, Tim. And then
Are you sure you're not going to drop down to 9.8 again?
Watch me.
Do not
challenge me.
Or maybe it's going to be 9.9.
9.9.
Just drops
Maybe it will.
9.9.
Maybe
I don't doubt you one bit. You're going to do it just to spite me.
I hope so.
Oh,
Hey, guess what,
there's so many
Spaz?
challenges going on here. We got to watch out for me.
Spite voting,
Give it
my
an 8.
favorite.
I dare you.
Never.
Dare you.
Never.
Give it an 8.
Never.
So that brings our average nostalgia review to an 8.63, which has us above Jaws and Bad Boys.
Saucy.
Not surprising, but we'll see where we're at after our rewatch. So we're going to shut down now. Go watch this amazing film and spend the rest of the evening changing Chris and Dan's mind and say that it's explosions out the head. Hope you're ready.
That was
Out other orifices as well.
I'm just planning on blowing your mind, Dan.
description.
Yeah. Well, I'm blowing
Nope. I am
Make it stop.
so much farts.
I'm going to stop this now.
You can stop right now.
Please do.
What's the most resilient parasite? An idea. A single idea from the human mind can build cities. An idea can transform the world and rewrite all the rules. Which is why I have to steal it.
Never recreate from your memory. Always imagine new places.
He's hiding something, and we need to find out what that is.
We gotta break out of here. Give him the kick. This was not a part of the plan.
Wake me up! Wake me up!
All right, and we're back after watching Inception. Now, I want to start off before we go any further on impressions. And since, Dan, I think it's been the longest since you've seen it, let's start with you on your first impressions after watching this after 10 years.
The movie was great. Still confused. Everything about this movie, the way it was written, choreography, what the fight scene in the hotel, that was just fantastic. That was awesome. And the movie's great. That's just plain and simple. I loved every minute of it. I loved Hans Zimmer did his... Dang, that's a great soundtrack. That was a great soundtrack.
One of the best.
Get your heart pumping, man, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Chris, how about you? Six years or so? I think a lot of it came back as you started seeing it.
Yeah. It was within the first 10, 15 minutes. I remembered most of it. Not all of it, but most of it. I enjoyed it. I'm going to be the odd man out in this group. It's not like my top 10 movie ever. But don't get me wrong, I very much enjoyed it. I loved the originality of it, I think, the most. Like, it's very rare to get something like that nowadays, something that's outside of the box. So I appreciate that very much for what it is.
Well, let's go to Dana.
I'm still gonna say top 3 of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely amazing. I'm still just as mind blown watching it. It's definitely stood the test of time, even if that has only been about 10 years.
Yeah, about 10 years. Not even 10 years. I think it's July of.
But honestly, I see why I was so obsessed with it in the beginning too.
I think now, watching it in my 30s as opposed to my 20s, I like it even more now than I did. And I can't rate it higher than I did, but we'll get to ratings later. But I mean, it's just a different perspective, a different thought now that as, a little bit older, you have kids, you kind of pick up on the story and some nuances of it, and you see new things, you think new things. So it just has you thinking the whole time. So to me, it's an unbelievable film, great soundtrack, great everything. There's nothing else like it, and I don't think there ever will be. So, Christopher Nolan, hats off to you. You nailed this one.
I love you, Christopher Nolan. You can make great movies.
Forever.
So let's go to our over-under game now.
The executive producer is causing problems.
Is he hitting it? Hey.
Well, he went from licking my foot to licking the carpet to punching my leg to... Oh, there it is.
Stop pissing him off, man.
Well, quit licking the carpet then.
Let him lick whatever he wants. He'll leave you alone.
He's going to start kicking that table and moving around.
What a goofball.
All right.
He's kicking
I just think
you
it's
guys
fun.
and me.
Yeah.
So, executive producer, stop this.
Goofball dog.
So let's go back to our over-under. We have a tie. The reigning champ is no longer the champ.
Told you. I knew I bombed this one.
Anus.
Thank you.
Chris with 1 out of 4.
Yes.
You suck so hard.
And Dana and Spaz with 3 out of 4.
I know the one I got wrong was the train one, because the only train I thought about was in the original dream with the big steam train just rolling through in the middle of the traffic.
I got that stupid song one wrong. It was so over. I was thinking over because I was like, that's like the kick to get out of it. And yeah, I thought it was just one time.
Yeah, so
Tim tricked me with his word placement.
Yes, he did.
I'm all about tricking you. So let's go through the questions really quick. So how many times did we see a train? There were a number of them that I totally forgot even existed. But
and
we got
a surprise train.
And a surprise train, yes. A total of 7 trains are seen in this film, which is significantly higher.
Way off.
So off.
Yeah, 7. In regards to the screen time, Michael Caine, over under 5 minutes. He actually had, I think, 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. 3
I got
minutes.
that one right.
You guys all got that. I couldn't trick you on that one. How many times do we hear the song play? We had over under 2.5. It actually played 5 different times throughout this movie. And how many times do you see someone smoking? It was 0, which is why I brought that question in, is because there was literally no smoking at all in this movie, and it just struck me as strange because it just seems like There's always at least somebody, right?
Yeah, I was, like I said, I couldn't remember. I always thought it was Tom Hardy's character that smoked for some reason. But
He seems like he would be.
Maybe it's a different movie. We can actually understand him in this movie, so that made it even better.
And it's not Venom.
So the next thing I wanted to do is start sharing some trivia.
So tiebreaker?
Oh, that's right, the tiebreaker. I forgot about the tiebreaker. All right. So Spaz and Dana, we need to go through a tiebreaker to see who is the winner tonight. So I'm going to go with a question. If I can just find it here.
How many actors and actresses ended up in Christopher Nolan's Batman?
That's hard. There's probably some hidden
No, I got a
ones.
better one.
Oh.
How many actors were left-handed? No. So in this movie, there were a lot of questions asked. A lot. So I'm going to ask you to tell me, so how many total questions were asked in this movie?
Follow-up question in the same vein. How many raindrops were in the entire movie?
Raindrops keep falling on my...
Do you want to start or do you want me to?
And just randomly pick a number, man.
42.
Oddly specific.
Higher?
Lower.
You think it's lower than 42 questions?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Wait, you didn't write down every time someone asked a question?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, lower.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Dana wins.
You know why I answered that?
Why?
Because you read this book so long ago, and you kept telling me the answer to life is 42. So that's
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes, that's the reason I asked or said that.
It's not the right answer. There were a total of 399 questions asked in this movie.
Oh, I wanted it to be the right answer.
It was 2.5 hours long.
You did win, so Dana is now the reigning champ.
Too much attention to it.
I want to meet the person that wrote down that answer, though. Like, someone sat there and was like, I'm going to keep track of every question asked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could just get the script and control-find question mark.
Yeah, but, I mean, is that valid, though? Because there could be all that different things, like, subtext in the columns and stuff, not the actual script.
399 questions were asked.
Different number. We could have gone on for a while, I think.
Dana is our champ.
I didn't want to go on for it.
For now.
So bask in it, Dana. You are now the winner.
This is the only time that will happen. Because it is the only movie I actually saw.
We'll get you a trophy or something.
I didn't get a trophy for the last two times.
I haven't gotten a trophy for last place.
You didn't win anything. I was just like, you didn't win shit.
I deserve a trophy for finally not coming in last.
For existing?
No, God, no. That's.
I'll get you a participation trophy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm part of that whole crappy
Look, I did
existence of
something.
participation trophies. Woo. I did something.
You have a lot of those.
I think we all do.
Yes.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
All right, so let's jump into some trivia. There's some pretty good ones I wanted to call out here, so let's just go down the list and feel free to comment as if anything stands out to you guys. So the first one I wanted to talk about the number of... Our producer is escaping. Let's go.
He's on the run.
Let's go this way.
You know what? Just keep stepping on Portrait's feet. Yes.
You were not a tiny dog.
This way.
Keep it up, Covey.
Great Dane underneath the card table.
Where you going, buddy?
He wants more Portrait's feet.
Stay away from
He's got a Portrait foot fetish.
That's uncomfortable.
This is going in a direction we should just...
Yes, we should hard stop this freight train.
You guys are just so lame.
No.
Enjoy the moment.
Waiting for a train.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment.
I'm waiting for a train just to hit him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Let's talk
I
about...
think we're all waiting for that.
Let's talk about the award this movie won. It has a total of 156 wins and 210 nominations across all the recognized award shows. I think the best award that I had come across was the award given at the MTV Movie and TV Awards to Ellen Page. She won the award for Best Scared as Shit Performance.
That word?
Whatever that means, I thought that was the best award that they have.
Was she really ever scared as shit?
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering.
I mean, when the projections grabbed her and
Sure.
Maul was coming to come stab her. I mean,
Yeah, I
she
guess.
Yeah.
I really didn't think she was that scared of shit, though.
It's such an oddly specific award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't look up what it takes to win that award because, for one, it's the MTV Awards.
Yeah, and that
it's
hasn't been popular since the 90s.
Well, at least 2010.
That's true.
All right, so let's jump to the award show that we do
90s.
know, the Academy Awards. So this movie was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. Do you guys have any idea how many Christopher Nolan won out of those 8?
Him personally?
Yes.
0.
As I say, 1.
0. Didn't win a single award.
Didn't deserve it.
So Hollywood hates him.
Yeah, it's so I was looking at the awards or the other movies that were nominated for one, Motion Picture of the Year. That year King's Speech won it, which
That was a good movie.
it was a good movie. But it was, it was up against King's Speech, Black Swan, Social Network, The Fighter. No movie has the staying power as Inception to me. I don't know anyone that's going back to watch
King's Speech.
I feel like that
I'm
was
not
like
watching that again.
that was a 1 year and done. I don't know anyone that it's like, oh yeah, it was good, but
The only reason why you want to watch Black Swan is the lesbian scene in it.
We just took it just.
Actually, I don't even know. I haven't seen it, so I just heard there was a
Black
lesbian
Swan's
scene.
an amazing movie.
it was a good movie. It was a very
It's very uncomfortable
dark.
at times. Yes.
Good movie.
The fingernail scene, it's still stuck in my head.
I was so depressed after that movie.
But
So what you're saying is watch it on a nice Sunday afternoon, right?
Yes.
If you want to be depressed the whole week, sure.
Hey,
And followed up
did
with
it.
maybe The Road and then
Yeah,
The Mist.
exactly.
All right, watch. Sounds
Okay.
good.
but the 4 wins it did have at the Oscars was
Leo.
achievement in cinematography,
Oh
Yeah.
achievement in sound mixing,
Yeah.
sound editing, and visual effects. It had 4 nominations, one of which being Picture of the Year, which
It lost.
it lost. Nominated for writing an original screenplay. Which,
Should have won.
Yeah.
no. Original score, lost.
Should have won.
And art direction, lost.
Should
So
have won.
the original score, I'm kind of shocked about because of how good the score really was. And I know The Social Network, Trent Reznor, who won, it was a good
It's another movie I haven't
soundtrack,
seen.
but it wasn't blow my mind good.
Do you know who beat it out for original screenplay?
I think it was King's Speech. Let me.
Really? I'm just like I said earlier, like, don't get me wrong, I really, really like this movie. It's just very hard to fit it into my top 10. But what I do love is the originality of it. So to me, it's very hard to find another movie at that time or that year at least to beat out something this original.
I agree with you very much.
That dog, I swear.
He's a beast.
He just runs into everything. Just flops down. Oh, he's got his toy. He's happy now. Is that Grimace?
It's an eggplant.
Oh, okay.
Grimace,
workout
I am impressed that you went with Grimace, man. I really am.
Oh, it was a purple fat thing. So
No, I know. Does McDonald's even use Grimace anymore?
No, they haven't used any of
that's what
those
I thought.
characters in a while.
So, I mean, I appreciate the fact that you went straight
Well,
to
I-
like mid-90s or the
Well, I
90s
don't. You never know
Grimace.
if they, find out on the internet or just
Oh, yeah.
some random store or something.
I think they would be awesome.
that would be awesome.
Grimace always never made sense to me, but yeah.
Yeah, no, me neither.
As we wait for Tim to look up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about McDonald's characters.
All right, so what do you want to look at?
I wanted to know who beat it out for original screenplay.
The King's Speech.
See, it's hard for me to say anything because I've never seen The King's Speech.
I mean,
It was a really great movie.
I've heard it's very good, but I'm
Right.
talking about like I guess for like originality though. That's where I'm having a very hard time here.
Personally, King's Speech isn't as much my style, but it was a really great movie. I can see why it won.
Colin Firth was really good in that one.
He was actually, that might have been one of his better roles overall. But
Well, Love Actually, he was really good in that one.
yes, I love that movie. Really, Inception was the movie that should have won, I think.
Oh, for sure.
And I also want to bring up I hate the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball, and it's a lot. But let's talk about the categories Inception was not nominated for at all. So, Best Actor,
Leo.
Nothing for Leo.
That's crazy.
Wasn't even nominated.
That's crazy.
Best Actress, nobody was nominated. Best Supporting Actor, nobody.
That's crazy.
Supporting Actress, nobody. Best Director, nope.
That just makes absolutely no sense.
But see, I think that this goes back to that really Hollywood does not like Christopher Nolan at all. And they're trying to make sure that it's known, like, hey, we don't like you.
It's really bizarre to me that it was nominated for 8 awards, won 4 of them, nominated for Best Picture, and he's not nominated for Best Director? How is that possible?
It's against him. It's not against the movie, I don't think.
Know. I don't put much credence into
Hollywood Foreign Press.
The Academy Awards and stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
The Foreign Press, I think, is...
yeah, that's the Golden Globes, yeah.
The Academy, no. So the award shows are just a joke to me. But the 156 wins it has across all the other, that totally deserved. Yeah, it's always going to be up there for me. So, also looking at IMDb, you have the list of the top rated movies of all time. It's currently rated number 13. So,
what's number 1?
What's number 1? It's probably Shawshank.
I don't know. I was just curious. I didn't know if you had it up.
I'd have to look. I'm pretty sure it's Shawshank.
To still be rated number 13, though, that really says a lot about it.
Well, it's 1 spot below Forrest Gump and 1 spot above Empire Strikes Back. So
wow,
it's right around there.
Interesting.
My idea would be to go through all the top 100 best IMDb movies and the 100 worst IMDb movies.
That's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Let's just start watching.
I got no problem with that.
I can only watch Batman and Robin so many times, and I know that's in the top 100 worst.
It is. It's pretty high on that list.
I know it is. So many bad things about that movie.
So if anybody wants us to watch it, you know what to do.
What happened to the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Where am I going?
Everybody freeze.
Everybody chill.
All right. One piece of trivia about this movie I thought was very interesting was there were about 500 special effects shots that were recorded. He did a lot with practical effects, especially the hallway scene.
That was awesome.
If anyone gets a chance, hit YouTube or get the Blu-ray edition of the movie. They go into detail on how they shot it. And I know Joseph Gordon-Levitt did, I think, all but one of his stunts in that scene. So
that's amazing in
kudos to
itself.
Joe. The typical movie in
First name basis, same.
Oh, him and I, yeah. People thought we were brothers for a long time.
I was going to say, looks wise, he might be your Hollywood twin minus the height.
Might be, yeah. So other movies around 2010-ish, as far as special effects, they were using about 1,500 to about 2,000. And Inception, which is you'd think is very visual, only used 500, which was a huge achievement in practical effects.
Like, it's funny because when I remember watching this the first time, or trying to go off memory, I was like, oh, I remember all the special effects, yada yada yada. But if you think about it, there's only really one scene that really incorporates a ton of special effects, and that's the scene with Ellen Page and Leonardo DiCaprio when he's first introducing her to architecting the dream with the world folding over and stuff. Now there's other aspects, sure, but a lot of the rest is very practical. That was the one that really just was over the top, if you will, getting it all to work.
Yeah, and then the scene where she in her first dream where everything's exploding around her.
Right,
things were literally exploding around.
Yeah, he used a lot of practical effects.
Getting
for that,
pelted by stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Here's a fun one if you didn't know. So our main characters: Dom, Robert, Eames, Ariadne, Mal, and Saito. First letter of all their names spells dreams.
Wow.
Mind blown.
A little bit.
Mind blown.
Was that on purpose? It had to have been.
Yeah.
If you know Christopher Nolan, probably. I don't think that's a coincidence. Could be. Could be people making stuff up. He never came out and said that was on purpose. So I thought this was another cool thing. So whenever they were in a dream and a car drove by that had a license plate on it, the state motto on that license plate said, "The alternate state."
Oh.
Nice.
That's a fun little
never paid
little
attention to
detail.
license plates.
I never looked for that once.
And then the music, so those blaring trombones we get, that was a sample from that French song. Oh. Yes. That French song that I'm not going to pronounce again, Edith's song. It was a sample that was always part of the story that Christopher Nolan had. He always pegged that song. So when Hans Zimmer sampled that track, he slowed down the song to kind of get that sound. And then every level deeper they went in the dreams, he slowed it down even further. So you get the perception of, getting deeper into the dream state, the time stretching out. So the music had everything to do with our, kind of syncing up with where they're at in, what level of the dreams that they're at. And that was disturbing.
Dog just going to town on that bone, man.
No, he's not on a bone. He's just looking at my cable.
Oh, well, that's safe.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dog's good.
I had actually just read today that Hans Zimmer is kind of upset about the what he did with that score, only for the fact that now everybody uses those big trombones to highlight something in their movie trailers. I saw a video that showed all the different trailers recently that kind of use that same sound effect, and it's prevalent across every big action blockbuster movie, which I guess you imitate because you enjoy something. So
that's true.
He obviously hit a chord. No pun intended. Actually, that was pretty intended.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I take that back. One thing that I think we noticed right away in the snow-based third level of the dream, it was inspired by a James Bond movie, which is Christopher Nolan's favorite. That movie is On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Ah, yes.
The 1969 movie. So not the snowy Pierce Brosnan, terrible CGI.
Which one was
Avalanche.
that again?
Goldeneye, man.
Was it straight
No, it was not.
No, it wasn't.
That was Tomorrow Never Dies?
It was bad.
I don't remember. I guess we're going to have to watch it.
Because he was only in two, wasn't he?
No, he was in
Oh, no, the third one with, what's her,
Denise Richards. And then there was another one with,
God dang. Catwoman. Who played Catwoman?
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
There's four, and then he was supposed to do another one, and he didn't. He ended up doing the video game instead, if I remember correctly. But it was Goldeneye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and then the one with Denise Richards, and then the one with Halle Berry. And I forget the last two names, but yeah.
The last piece of trivia that I thought was interesting was that Christopher Nolan explained that he based each of the roles in Inception, in the Inception team, off of roles that were used in filmmaking. So if you think about it, Cobb is the director, Arthur is the producer, Ariadne is the production designer, Eames is an actor, Saito is kind of like the studio, the production, and Fisher, who is us, the audience. Christopher Nolan was quoted as saying, "In trying to write a team-based creative process, I wrote the one I know." So it makes sense. It just kind of fits to creating a team to make a movie, to create dreams. It's the same kind of concept. So that's what I have on trivia. Now, the next section I wanted to talk about the ending. Particular to this movie because there's a lot of discussion. There has been a lot of discussion on what the ending means. Is he still dreaming? Is it reality? Christopher Nolan even said that he knew it was going to be a problem, so anytime he went to a screening or anything, he would sneak out before the movie ended because he didn't want to be approached about it. And he avoided the subject for a long time because he didn't want to answer it necessarily, and he wanted to be open to interpretation. So I wanted to ask everybody what their thoughts on what the ending means. Is it reality? Is it a dream? Because this was one of the things that I think everybody brought up online was, are you guys going to talk about the ending? Are you going to explain what the ending is? Do you have an opinion? So let's lay it out there. So I don't know. Let's start with Dana.
It was reality. My argument will be that he was not using his totem. That is the reason why you can tell. I know Christopher Nolan purposely hid what Cobb's totem is, but it was not his totem, so I fully believe that was reality in every way, and I think he actually got reunited with his kids.
All right, that's fair. That's a very very valid. That totem was not his; it was Maul's.
Exactly, because I think a lot of people got fixated when the movie originally came out that it was still spinning, so therefore it had to have been a dream, but it wasn't his, so I don't understand how that could have been the same. I mean, of course, obviously it's everybody's interpretation, but I think it was reality.
But everyone else is wrong.
In my opinion.
Yes. All right, Spaz, how about you? Dream or reality?
I think it's reality as well. Basically on what Dana said. Again, it wasn't his totem. And I've always thought it looked like it was slowing down at the end and it was going to topple over. So that's why I'm basically seeing how that it would be reality. The only thing I want to know is how he got out, because he wasn't with the kicks and it didn't show the kicks of him getting out.
So what's been explained or theorized was Saito had the gun. Mm-hmm. And he explained that when he kind of jogged Saito's mind, this is it, that he killed Cobb, killed himself.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's one theory. I mean, we don't see it happen, so we don't totally know, but that's the theory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
So yeah, I think it's reality for sure.
Got another reality. Chris?
I'm inclined to go with reality too. Like, I always knew that it wasn't his totem, but it's interesting that he's always fixated on it for the most part throughout the movie. But it's not his. So, I mean, you can't really prove if it's not his. So I think that kind of, to me, helps swing it more towards reality and stuff just because of that, he uses that. I know they really, they kind of close off the movie with it just spinning and, it's wobbling. Is it wobbling because it's going to stop? Is it wobbling because it hit, a
nick
divot in the table? Who knows, right? But once again, it's not his. So, I mean, that's not going to validate anything one way or another. So that's just my thoughts on that. I mean, I like the ambiguity of it. Like, you don't know, and he hasn't really come out and said anything. So it's nice to have something always up for interpretation, or maybe you rewatch it again and again, you pick up something extra that kind of help solidify your opinion on it and stuff. But for me, I think it is reality, just the way it all played out. I had the same thought about like the gun and Saito and stuff, like as far as like the kick, like they kind of focus on that, and that's the only thing really in that room to give off like what they're going to use as a kick. But that's just me. I mean, there's no concrete answer, but I think it's reality.
So I'm a little surprised with our crowd. I mean, it's whether it's reality or a dream is a glass half full, half empty, and everyone's saying it's reality. So you have a little optimism, which
it's not for us.
It's a little strange.
Yeah, that is us.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, yes and no. I don't know, because if you look at the movie, he's gonna live the rest of his life with the guilt of the fact that he is the one that, in a horrible twist,
killed his wife.
Killed his wife. So, I mean, in a way,
that note she left for the lawyer was basically true.
But I feel too like, okay, when he was watching her totem at first, he looked at it and then he walked away, and I feel like that was his symbolism for, okay, his wife is gone, and now he's finally letting go of her.
Yep.
And, he could move forward.
He just wanted to be with his kids, man. He didn't care. If he got it to his kids, he just didn't really care about anything else. So.
Exactly. And I completely can understand why he felt that way, too. I get it.
Yeah, I fall on the same side of it's reality. I think he finally achieved an impossible mission. Not only, admitting to others that in a roundabout way he did end up killing his wife, but he was able to find a way to get home. And, it's like you were saying, it just the totem doesn't matter. There are two more theories I wanted to bring up as far as people's arguments for is it real or a dream. One of those being Michael Caine said, if I'm in the movie, it's reality. Christopher Nolan told him that if he's in it, it's reality. So that's one argument. And the other is Cobb's ring. I believe he is only in the movie wearing a ring when he's in a dream world.
Yes, I actually was going to bring that up, is that he always has his wedding ring on there. However, in that final scene, I don't believe they show his hands on purpose.
There's like a quick frame when he's handing, I think, his passport over to get stamped that you see his left hand and there is no ring. But, it's so quick, I couldn't really...
It's true. I was referring to when he's in his house, finally. I don't believe... I could be wrong. I might need to rewatch it again, but they don't show his hands then. So.
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah, but that was definitely his totem, was that it was his wedding ring, and he had it on every time there was a dream. Or even looking back at a dream, it always had that.
So we're 4 out of 4. That's reality. So we're feeling pretty good for Leo.
Yay, Leo!
So I wanted to bring up one more thing related to the ending. In 2015, Christopher Nolan was invited to give Princeton University underclassmen commencement speech. And he was touching on some of the projects he was working on and even brought up the ending to Inception as part of that speech. So these are a couple quotes that he said about it. Maybe it answers it. Maybe it just kind of gives it just his perspective on what it means. And it's kind of similar to some of the beats you guys already laid on. So this is quoting Christopher Nolan in that speech. It says, "The way the end of the film worked, Cobb was off with his kids. He was in his own subjective reality. He didn't really care anymore, and that makes a statement. Perhaps all levels of reality are valid." He also says, in the great tradition of these speeches, generally someone says something along the lines of chase your dreams. But I don't want to tell you that because I don't believe that. I want you to chase your reality. And Nolan also added that, I feel that over time, we started to view reality as the poor cousin to our dreams, in a sense. I want to make the case to you that our dreams, or virtual realities, these abstractions that we enjoy and surround ourselves with, they are subsets of reality. So in a nutshell, Cobb had the ultimate victory of being with his family again, getting his kids back. I know it's common, people say online, it's like, why didn't you just have the kids fly out to him wherever he was? Sure, maybe, but I think the goal was to be home. Just having the kids with him is one achievement, but the whole destination or the whole conclusion to his journey is being home.
Agreed.
And that's what he wanted. So with that, does anyone else have anything else they want to bring up or any thoughts? Final closing before we give our final ratings?
Tom Hardy's pretty much a badass in everything that he does. I think that's pretty apparent after watching that movie. I guess I didn't realize because I think that was the first time I actually saw him in a movie.
Oh, he definitely kicked ass.
Doesn't say much about me though, but
because you've seen 3 movies.
Exactly. Well, maybe 4.
Well, we should see 3 now.
So like almost like 7.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I still can't get over how much that music just, like, even now it still gives me kind of like that just excited feeling where I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what's going to come, and just, I don't know, that anticipation of wanting to keep hearing more and seeing more, and just, I really liked that a lot too.
When I was prepping for this and getting all my information together, I was listening to sound bites and recordings of the music, and it was still just getting me all amped. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Exactly.
You know, so it still hits me on that note. So it's very exciting. Some of Hans Zimmer's best work for sure.
I'm just gonna say you're still Joseph Gordon-Levitt's twin.
Maybe. I don't know. He might be a doppelganger, and one of us has to go.
Well, it's good knowing you, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got you, dude.
He's doing a little bit more for society than I am. So I'll just go grow a beard and live in a hole.
We've talked about this.
I'll show you where the best holes are, man.
No, please, no.
With the Shia LaBeouf. I went with that reference.
Yeah, but I don't know, boy. Yikes.
No.
Wait, you guys have never seen the movie Holes?
I have.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
Henry Winkler?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nope, Joseph Gordon-Levitt has everything over me, so...
Except height.
Except for height.
He's pretty darn short.
Well, compared to me, most people are.
Fair.
He can wear a suit better than I can, so...
When did you wear a suit last?
I don't.
Okay, then.
I don't.
Then you don't know.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to...
I don't know. I think we covered most of what we were talking about, or what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody had any, like, awesome quotes that they really liked, or anything like that either. I don't know that this was so much a quotable movie as more like the idea of the feelings that it might give you along the way.
There wasn't like there's not a ton of like one-liners or things you can pick out and use.
Yeah, that's kind of how
it's kind of like a all or nothing movie in a way.
So let's go to our rewatch review. Now, after watching it for the first time in quite some time, let's start with Spaz. You gave it a 7 out of 10. Where are you now after watching it again for the second time in 10 years?
Bump it up to an 8.
A whole 1 point better.
Yep. I need to watch it again.
You need things explained?
No, I just need to watch it again.
That's a good thing, though.
Watch it over and over again.
Yes.
We'll push play right after this. It's only midnight, right?
Please no.
I'm game.
Chris, from a 7.5, where are you? Better or worse?
I'm going to bump it up to an 8 also.
All right.
I liked it. It was a good movie. It was definitely funny remembering everything within the first 10 minutes. Like, shame on me, though. Like I told these guys when we were watching it, I confused quite a bit of it, like the kids and the wife initially, with Shutter Island. Because it's been a long time since I've seen those, too. And seeing this, like, it helped kind of, like, obviously break them out and stuff. But I think the release times for both movies are right around here. Yeah.
They had to have been pretty close.
No, like, I want to say Shutter Island was first.
I don't know. They were so close in time frame, I feel like. Or my memory is failing.
No, 2010.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess, in a weird way, I'm kind of validated in the sense of confusing them since they were both about the same year.
Even though very different stories.
Very, 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 very different. The only common ground there is obviously just Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly.
And the wife and the issues and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Dana, you gave it a 10.
There's nothing that changed there.
Nothing
It is
is gonna
still
change.
a 10 out of 10 for me.
And if I could rate it higher than a 10, I would. I like it better than I remember it. But I already gave it a 10, so 10 it is. I'm not going to cheat. So this gives us an average rating of 9, which is now our
highest
best reviewed movie. We've only done 3, so it's not saying a whole lot, but 9 is pretty dang high.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This is 0.38 better than our previous nostalgia review of Inception. Jaws came in at 8.5 now, so it's above Jaws.
It should be.
So it's good.
I want to change my rating on Jaws.
It's
locked.
It's locked.
I'm just kidding. I want to bump it up to a 10.
Gotta watch it again if you want to change it.
Yeah, Jaws the Revenge.
No, we
That might make the ratings go down.
I was re-listening to our Jaws episode. I think you brought up Jaws the Revenge 8 times.
I just, apparently, it's so bad.
It hurts.
It's so bad, there's movies that they're so bad, they're good.
Yeah.
That's not one of them.
This is not one of them. No.
That's okay.
But I feel like everyone should suffer along with me and at least watch it once.
We'll see if we get down there. There's so many.
I'm not volunteering to do it again. I've already seen it. I mean, you guys do watch it on your own time.
Yeah, that's all you two.
Yeah.
There's only one way I'm ever watching that movie.
There's plenty of really bad movies I've watched.
If anybody hates Chris,
well, I do. So
I hate myself, and I'm not paying for it.
then you can commission us to watch that movie.
I don't want to watch it either.
You want to torture yourself?
I'd rather watch.
To be honest with you, I think I have more enemies than he does. So I know we're totally screwed and probably have to watch it.
I'd rather watch Ghoulies.
You're an idiot. Stop bringing up movies.
Ghoulies 3. It's been a while.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks everybody for listening to On Second Watch. You can subscribe and rate us if you feel like it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your favorite podcast catcher is. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to interact with us, get some ideas about future episodes. So if you want to have us review a specific movie of your choice, definitely head to www.oswpodcast.com and you can select whatever movie you want us to watch, and we will. And,
yes, we will.
It could be Jaws the Revenge.
Oh, God.
Stop it, Tim.
Or Ghoulies.
Stop it, Tim.
No, I know what we should watch.
Stop it, Chris.
No, because they already said no, but I still think we should. March is coming up. March is here. Well,
what are you talking about?
We're always kind of staggered. We should watch Leprechaun. We've talked about this. Oh, yeah.
Totally should watch Leprechaun.
With Jennifer Aniston, 1992.
St. Patrick's Day, man.
Warwick Davis.
Dude, I actually... I did watch that recently.
My man.
I watched it
so bad.
Well, I watched it around Halloween, I should say, so because it wasn't that...
We have such a backlog of horror movies.
Oh, there's so many horror movies.
We just need to start...
knocking them out.
And then... Man, I don't know.
So probably around the end of August, we should probably start getting into horror films September and October.
I'm going to lean on you to try to firm up a list.
I already have a list.
Well, pick your top 4.
Oh.
I'm not watching 80 of them.
Why?
Pick your top 4, and we'll knock them all out and release them in October.
Great.
So get busy.
So many movies.
Sorry. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
I'm not Spaz.
I am Spaz.
Not Iron Man.